Hi, I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency and about DeFi. It's been on a roll recently, and we're going to get ADVFN CEO Clem Chambers' strategy moving forward. If you like the content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter at ihub_vision, and let's hear from Clem. So, Clem, talk to us a little bit about your crypto strategy going forward.
Well, yesterday, after having a fantastic weekend with my oversized crypto positions, I went, right, I've had enough, and I sold everything. So I have a rather nice fiat position right now. Now, the reason for that is, yes, Bitcoin might be going to 40,000. Could go to 50,000. At a stretch, could hit 60. But at 32, having bought at 6, 7, 8,000, call it 7,000, being sat on that much of portfolio undiversification was against all my rules. So I cleared out my positions. Now, I actually bought back quite a large chunk of Ethereum this morning because it's actually looking like it's going to go on another run. It is looking like it will go to 40 or 50. And now I'm much lighter than I was yesterday. So I effectively took it all off the table, piled it up in a pile of cash, and looked at the cash and went, do I like the cash or do I want to go back? Now this, by the way, if you ever have a good run in the market and you're worried about not taking money off the table, just sell everything. It's quite cheap to do in the US. And then look at the cash pile and go, well, you know, that's a lot of cash. Would I put that back into those stocks that I just sold out of? And the answer is yes. Well, put it back then. If it's, well, I'm not so sure. Well, you know, it was best that you're out. So anyway, so I'm back in, I don't know, about a quarter of where I was yesterday. And it's all Ethereum because Ethereum, if it runs, will run further than BTC and it will run later. So when Bitcoin is seen its high and starts to, you know, do the drop dead thing that it will do at some point, it can't keep going on forever. It may be now. I think it's about, well, yesterday I thought it was worse than 50-50 that we'd seen the top. Now I think it's less than 50-50 we've seen the top, and I think 40 is easily doable, 50 is potentially doable, and 60 is a big stretch. But Ethereum, which is, you know, just shy of $1,200, the previous high is about $1,400 or $1,300. It's not even done the all-time high. So it could easily go to 1,800. So there's a lot more upside there. And I will ride Ethereum until I go, whoa, no, run away. And I will run away again, and I will park it in fear. Then, as I'm doing today, actually, is I'm moving some of it into equities, because equities, in my specialty, has got a long way to go, not like the US, which is, you know, super high, and probably still will run. And not most of it, at least half of it will be going into DeFi tokens, because that DeFi category is going to run for 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And it's going to mutate out of DeFi into other areas, which will, you know, be similar to DeFi. And if you can catch those projects early, you know, there's just massive multiples there to be had, not just in the next week or 3 weeks or at most 3 months, but for many years to come, and maybe for decades. I mean, DeFi is going to be a thing like Microsoft, like Apple. I'll be dead by the time they're at that high. I mean, it's going to run that long. And it's not going to be 2 or 3 of these companies. It's going to be dozens, maybe hundreds over that period of time that will appear and go, you know, up a lot. And, you know, it will be rock and roll and it will be high risk. But anybody that knows crypto and DeFi and to a certain level of depth will be able to have a good chance of picking out the winners and avoiding the disasters and not having too many losers. So, you know, the fabulous 500% return I've had on Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's going to be multiplied over and over and over and over again in DeFi. But I won't have to go all in on one sketchy instrument, or at most 2. I'll be able to spread those risks over 20, 30 positions and still get approximately the same sort of result without risking it all on the turn of a die, which I simply can't do. And those people that can do it, well, they don't need financial advice, they need psychotherapy, because you should never, have that much money on one thing, because you're going to be wrong at some point. And when you're wrong, you're going to get wiped out. And, the history of speculation, of even the best speculators, are that many of them end up blowing their brains out, literally, when they have a bad run near the end. Well, it is the end for them. So, you read the book by Jesse Livermore. It's a great book, and it's, totally pumped you up about trading. And he loses it all, and he makes it all back. But in reality, a few years after he wrote that book, he lost it all, and he shot himself. And, the jails are full of traders, but prisons are not full of investors. In fact, the investors fly in private jets, and the traders have a bad habit of ending up in orange jumpsuits. So investing is the key for the next few years ahead. But Bitcoin and Ethereum right now is a trade. You've got to trade that or stay away. And I should really stay away, but I do think there's a high chance that Ethereum will go a lot further. I do think that Bitcoin is near its top. I don't see it going through $1 trillion, because if it does that really quickly, there's going to be people coming out of the woodwork in government that are going to be saying, stop that, that's naughty. And that will chill the whole thing. And I think my model is Bitcoin should be worth 1 Tesla. Well, that's a lot further up than it is now. Well, actually, it's not that much. It's about sort of 10, 15, 20%. And it can get to below $1 trillion. Well, that's 900. That's about another 40% more from where it is now, 30, 40%. And that's the tops in my book. Because if you go back, people say, 100,000, 250,000, a million, and all that stuff. If you were saying that a year ago, well, I tip my hat to you. I've been saying between 30 and 50,000 now for quite a long time. And that's where my limit is. And if you think it's going to be 200,000, well, that's great. Good luck to you. It could do that, but not in the next few weeks. It will take another halvening. Now, halvening is the key. When they cut the printing of new Bitcoins in half, well, funny enough, the top of this move doubled. And it was 20,000 last time. So I think it's 40,000. Now, you could say there's a lot more big institutions in the market to play around, and they're going to have an impact on the price and therefore push it further. Okay, 50,000. Okay, 60,000 maybe. Okay, it could go mental and go to 75, 80,000. But you can't trade that kind of peak in any event, because it will happen in like a minute or 5 minutes. It will go, 75,000, 82,000, 76,000, 81,000, 65,000. Those peaks always do. Those peaks that you see on the chart only last minutes. So if you want to go to bed and not wake up in the morning and miss that peak, you've got to decide where to leave at a good price and then, walk away. You've got to know when to walk. It doesn't matter if it doubles for me. Absolutely doesn't matter. Because I've done so well. Somebody on Twitter said, enjoy being poor. Well, I live in Monaco. That's not an option open to me. However, that guy could carry my bags of cash to the bank because they're so blooming heavy, I need help. And at the end of the day, that's what this game's about, what you get to keep. So I've had a great run, 7,000 to 32,000. I've got a nice position in Ethereum. If it runs to 14 or 1600, I'll be running away again because I'm trading that. That's not an investment. Ethereum is going to be great, but, the trees might grow to the skies if you're on the ground and they're 100 foot up, but these things do not go vertical forever. And we're on that final leg of that vertical right now in my book. It's not just going to go up and stay up. It's going to go up and it's going to come thumping down like it did before. And actually, I might get back in again when it does that, because, if it sees 15,000 again, which is quite possible, anybody that says it isn't is a fool, then I will re-enter. But if that doesn't happen, and I hope it doesn't, because there'll be a lot of naive holders that will end up crying and end up complaining and it should be allowed, I was conned in and all that. And we don't want any of that, because that will just, be bad karma for the whole sector. But if it does go up and stays up around here for Bitcoin and then goes on and goes to quarter minute, I'll be in DeFi making just as money. DeFi, that is sustainable, long-term, very, very, very exciting. DeFi and the other projects that come after it will more change the world than Bitcoin ever can, because that's when money meets enterprise, not just where money is money. And when money meets enterprise and brilliant young minds creating fantastic projects, that really is world changing, and that has begun, and that's where I'm going to be. And if that isn't enough for you, you might want to keep an eye on gold. That is starting to move.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. We got lots of videos in the works coming up for you, and I'll see you again soon.